Hello, I'm Matt Wyatt, and thank you for joining us for part 3 in this special 4-part video series. In our first 2 videos, which can still be viewed at mstateathletics.com, Director of Athletics Scott Stricklin and head football coach Dan Mullen share their vision for a new football-only facility that will radically change the day-to-day operations of the football program at Mississippi State. Now we turn our attention to the expansion and renovation of Davis-Wade Stadium as Scott takes the reins in this video to describe the new elements that will await fans once construction to the stadium is complete. These new elements include many different items such as north end zone premium seating, general seating, and renovations to the stadium concourses. Additionally, Scott describes in detail how a project of this size and scope is funded as we see a sneak peek of what the future holds for Davis-Wade Stadium.
Right now, as we've talked about, we've sold out our stadium this past year. We've got a tremendous amount of energy and excitement. The areas that we are constantly being asked about by our fans and alumni is they want more premium seating. And right now we have the club level on the east side. We have 50 skyboxes. We have some covered chairback seating on the west side that were part of the original expansion back in the mid-'80s. But we continue to get asked for opportunities to buy premium seats at Davis-Wade Stadium. So any expansion that we would do in this first initial phase is going to have to include premium seating. That's an opportunity to not only help that demand, fill supply for that demand, but also it's a great way to help generate revenue to pay for whatever we're going to do on the expansion side. And we were looking at some really creative concepts. As I mentioned, we're working with Populous, and they do stadiums all over the country. Looking at the opportunity of some premium seating that brings the fan right down into the middle of the action, right on field level, gives them a really unique atmosphere and experience. Really, there's not a lot of field level premium seating opportunities in college athletics, and we would be able to offer something really unique there. And also up at any kind of the top end of that lower bowl in that north end zone, the opportunity to provide some additional premium seating there, and then just to add regular seating, non-premium seating, if you will, in that area. Also kind of clean up some of the concourse. Our stadium, Davis-Wade Stadium, is the second oldest campus stadium in the country. A lot of history there, a lot of games been played there, but there's some parts of that stadium that we need to pay some attention to and give some attention to. The west side, which is the oldest part of the stadium, we've got one elevator. We need to add some other, they call it vertical circulation in the folks we've been dealing with. That's the way they phrase that. We need to add some more elevators on that west side. In doing that, as I mentioned earlier, your facilities say a lot about you, and the look of your facility say a lot about you. And by whatever we do in that north end zone and then coming around and adding those elevators on the west side, it's going to give us an opportunity to begin to wrap our stadium in some of the architectural elements that already exist on our campus, some of the beautiful structures around the drill field and other parts of the central core of campus. It gives us an opportunity to kind of carry those over to our stadium and provide a stadium that beyond a shadow of a doubt fits on Mississippi State's campus. To me, that's as exciting as anything else we're doing, is we're starting to brand our facilities in a way that lets everybody know, hey, this is Mississippi State, this is a special place, this is a unique stadium for a unique school, and that's one of the key elements here that's going to be really exciting. We have an instrument through our bonding in our state that we could issue bonds, and we can basically borrow money off of the incremental revenue, the new revenue that the additional seats in the stadium would provide to help pay off that debt service. And so when you look at it that way and you approach it as basically 2 different projects with 2 different funding sources, you really don't have to prioritize which one you start first. I think we have an opportunity to start both those projects when we have our plans in place. Obviously, we got to secure the private funding on the football facility part of it. But the stadium, once we feel like demand has gotten to the point, which we're close, but when demand gets to the point where we're ready to move forward with extra seating, extra ticket supply, and then also once we have a plan we really feel good about. Now you start getting down to the details of, okay, what's the first step in executing this plan? What's that going to cost? What's going to be included in that first step? Those are the details we're working to get right now today, early in 2011. But that's the exciting part too, because as soon as we get those plans in place and we feel like we can generate the revenue off those new tickets to pay for that debt service on the money you borrow, you feel good about moving forward. And we're a lot closer to that than we were this time a year ago. Obviously, the success on the field that Dan and our program have had is a big part of that. But we've had a lot of people working really hard to come up with that long-term vision that now we can kind of focus in on what the first steps are.